Hey everyone, it's Sunday. I hope you're all feeling well. It's Favian, and I've been wanting to do this particular guide for a while. It's the March Speed Guide for Evony. So welcome back to the channel. As I said, I'm Favian. It's Empire Build Academy. I do all kinds of mobile strategy guides, working through as many as I possibly can. I do also have a website which you can go and visit, which is empirebuildacademy.com. And let's use the example for, which is an event that's going on right now. And you can see there that I have the Horus event answers right at the top here. So if you was to click into that, you can see that I've got all the answers in there broken down. I've done it in two different ways, in a list as well as a table. The list does go in alphabetical order, and that's just a nice easy way to find all your answers for that. So that's empirebuildacademy.com. Today we're looking at March Speed. Like I say, I mentioned at the beginning that this is something I've not really paid too much attention to. That could be a mistake on my behalf, but why would you be interested in March Speed? Well, if you had just started on the game and you were in a decent alliance where there's plenty of monsters being attacked in a rally, then you would want to be joining that. But one of the biggest problems with that is the person who is setting the rally will tend to be a lot quicker, a lot faster than your march with your general. So trying to catch up to their speed so that you're getting back in time to join other rallies is also very important. So let's jump straight over to the Evony game. A couple of things that we're going to look at is the generals and also the equipment that you can get. Of course, there is other things as well that are important, such as talent tree, and also you can do things like monster packs and things like that as well. But we'll get straight into it. And the first thing we're going to do is have a look at the different generals that are available. So what I'm going to do is just jump over to this here, which is our tavern. And then when you go into there, we're going to click into recruit. And then what you need to do then is just go down to the portraits, which is down here at the bottom. And then when inside there, you can see that this is listed by all, but we want to change that. And we want to change that to administration, which will be our gatherers and monster hunters. And you can see in Europe there are 8 different ones that are available. They all do different things. So if we clicked on Theodora, for example, you can see that she increases ground troops and mounted troops attack by 30% and increases 10% double items drop rate from monsters when the general is leading the army to attack monster. And obviously you do need to be aware of that. She is for monster hunting. We also have the specialities, which will also contain different things in there as well. So Theodora is useful for the double drop side of things. Not for the March Speed side of things, but certainly for the double drop side of things. Now, if we go back into that and we have a look at some of the others as well, you can see that someone like Spartacus, he increases the March Speed by 75% towards monsters when general is leading the army. So this is something we can take into consideration when deciding to choose our generals. Now, when I was doing the research, I will be honest, Spartacus didn't pop up, and I'm not 100% sure as to why he wouldn't be included for March Speed. So if there is a particular reason that I'm not aware of why you wouldn't use Spartacus, then please do mention in the comments for that. But if you go across all the different ones and you've got it on that administration, you can find easily who is available in all the different areas for monsters and gathering. And even better than that, if we go back to Europe and then we click on the refresh probability in tavern, you can also find how frequent they will be pulled out. So you can see here Spartacus all the way down to constant. They've got a 0.38% chance of being drawn, whereas you can see Theodora that we mentioned earlier actually isn't available in the tavern, so she would not come out via that method. So these are things to take into consideration when going for someone for March Speed, especially as I said for the monsters. And like I say, I'd need to understand as to why Spartacus wasn't one that was mentioned. The ones that I did see keep popping up was Theodora because of the 10% double drop. Baybars, let's go and have a look at him. He was also in there again because of the 25%. Nathaniel, I can understand why Nathaniel was in there because he reduces your stamina cost by 25% when general is leading the army to attack monsters. So you are using less on the stamina. And another one that was mentioned was Cleopatra as well, and that was because of the 20% double drop. And if we click on Cleopatra, you can see that there she grants you a 20% double drop from monsters when the general is leading the army. And refresh probability in Tavern does break this down by the different areas as well, and you can see she is in there for that 0.38% probability of showing up as well. Okay, so that is a little bit on the generals. The next thing we're going to have a look at is a few things that I've seen that were mentioned. So I'm just going to read out some of these things that I've seen. Talking about your dedicated monster march speed gear is a game changer. We can see there are different things that we can use. So another thing to be aware of as well is in the research, and when we go across to military, you can see that we've got different things in play in here, and one of them is tracing, which you can see increases the march speed to monsters, and if you've got that on 20 out of 20, you will gain an additional 70%. Continuing down, we've also got the advanced compass, which increases march speed by 70% via that method as well. Let's have a look on the military advance to see if there was anything in there, and you can also see raid is in there, and if that's 20 out of 20, that is a 30% additional march speed. And you can also see that we've got advanced raid further down this tree as well, which again increases the march speed. So that would be via that method. Not 100% sure if it's relevant to show military research. The reason I'm saying that is even if there was any in here, this is so far advanced that I think you would know exactly what and how things are going on. So I'm not going to mention the military academy, but there is the possibility there could be some in there. Another thing to mention as well is the gear that I also talked about, and let's have a look at the gear. And we can do that by going to our forge, and we can click inside there and we can craft, and you can see again the different kinds of things that we've got in there. So you can see from that, just the first thing that popped up, which was the general's ring, there is double item drop rate from monsters. But in terms of the best ones to use, we've got the Achmenidae gear, which is this one up here. So I'm just going to click on the different ones to see which ones are beneficial. This is obviously on the ring. So you can see on the dragon spear there, we've got march speed to monsters, which is 40%. So there's another way that you can also increase that. You can do the same with the spear as well, which is 45% in there. Just go across to some of the others as well. I'll let you have a look at all the different weapons, but I was just wanting to show that, of course, weapons are another big factor in being able to increase this as well. And you will find as well, depending on your level, you will also find that there may be some better options with the yellow equipment or the gold equipment. So you can see on here, this one comes with march speed there, and it also comes with march speed there for having 2 pieces of that equipment. But again, it's worth just checking all these different ones out to see which one is the best. Again, we've got dragon boots there. It comes with 22% march speed, and continuing across, we've got march speed in the Achmenidae boots as well. So like I say, that is another area we can have a look at getting march speed as well. Now, the other thing that we've got as well that can also improve march speed, go on to a general, and this time what I will do is I will just click on anyone, to be honest, and jump straight into the skill book, which is the ones from down here, because again, we can add skill books that can also give us march speed. When having a look at the skill books, and the first one we've got is the march speed, which is this one, which increases march speed by 25% when general is leading the army. And the other two that we can look at is the march speed to monsters, which will be in the development tab. And let's go into there. You've got the monster march speed here, and you can see again 45% towards monsters when general is leading the army. And then the other thing that we've got in there as well is the luck, which grants you an additional 18% for double item drop rate from monsters when the general is leading the army. So again, some more things in there that can be useful. So you can also get luck as well, which grants you an 18% double item drop rate from monsters when general is leading the army. So that is what you can do with your skill books. In reference to what you could potentially do with combinations, and I'm just going to click onto that right now. So if we go back into the tavern and click on recruit, click on portraits. We'll switch this again to administration, and we could potentially have someone like Theodora, although of course she's not available in the tavern, but just using that as an example, if you was to use her with level 4 luck, level 4 march speed, level 4 march speed to monsters, and using Nathaniel as an assistant, that would be a total of 28% double drop rate, 25% march speed, 45% monster march speed, as well as 25% stamina reduction. Another one we could also potentially do as well is using Baybars as the main, giving him level 4 march speed to monsters, and using assistant Nathaniel again. And I can't remember if this guy was available in the tavern. He is, although you can see not the 0.38 that some others were, it's 0.13. But again, if we was to use him alongside Nathaniel, this would give us a 25% double drop, 25% march speed, 45% monster march speed, as well as a 25% stamina reduction. So there's definitely different things that we can do there. And you can already see now, with having the right generals, having the right talent trees maxed out, using the different kinds of weapons that we also have as well. And I just want to check on something very, very quickly. I don't know if I've got the equipment, but I just want to check something, so just bear with me. So another thing I also wanted to show you as well is if we jump into some of the equipment here, I'm not really interested in the actual equipment. What I am interested in is the refines that come with this. And what I wanted to show you is the difference in the weapon. So this is an edge axe. It's terrible, you wouldn't use it. But again, if you would, just showing you the example of what and how, if you went to the edge axe, you went into the information icon here, clicked onto that, and then went down. You can see all the different refines percentages that we've got. And in there, we've got some march speed and march speed to monsters, the refine that can be done. Now that was with the purple weapon. Let's have a look at what that looks like using a different one, such as the Achmenidae axe. And if we click onto refine in here, click on the information, again, actually it's the same, it's 6.67. So actually from a refine perspective, it doesn't make too much of a difference which ones you use. So using the right weapons, trying to get as much as you can via the different methods, and looking at the different things that we've got here. So we've got Achmenidae spear. Let's just jump off this and have a look at the different weapons that I'm just going to do. I'm going to go back into the crafting, and let's go to the spear. And this is the Achmenidae spear, and you can see in there we've got 45% march speed to monsters, which I think once you've got that maxed out, that would be 60%. If we then went to the boots, let's go back into craft. Let's go into the boots, and then this time we're going to choose the Fearless Dragon Boots, which comes with an additional march speed maxed out of 34%. And then again, you can refine these for additional march speed as well. And then we've got the Dragon Spear, which was 40%, I believe, when going into doing the Dragon Spear. So if I go into the Dragon Spear, which I think we just had a look at, but again, we've got some march speed to monsters in there as well, which is giving us an additional 40%. So there's many different options that we can have for doing this. So that's for the weapons and boots. For armor, helmet, leg armor, and ring, there are some various different ones that we can have a look at in there. Let's have a look at a ring. And again, just literally clicking along, just having a look and just seeing what's there. So the courageous one comes with double item drop rate from monsters. But again, it's having a look at what is your focus and what is more beneficial to you. And I didn't actually see anything else. So that might be the one that you would use for the ring. For the leg armor, again, let's go and have a look at the different things that we've got in there. And again, I'm not seeing anything else. Let's continue across. And it is literally, and then it's the academy stuff. So that would be nothing of too much use in there as well. Although, again, don't rule out the yellow equipment as well, because that doesn't mean that there isn't going to be something in there that may be useful to use. But that looks like that for the different weapons in there. And like I say, you can go across, you can check it out, and see exactly what one it is. Now let's have a look if there's anything else that I'm missing. As I mentioned, in the military we've got the advanced compass, which can get us up to 70% march speed. In the military advanced this time, in the raid, which can take us up to 30%. And then in military advanced raid, there is also some in there as well. Another place that we can have a look at is the rally spot, which is this one here. And going into the rally spot and having a look at my duty general. And my duty general for this is Toyotomi Hideyoshi. And click onto him, and you can see we can increase march size by 5%. And you can see it comes with his normal buffs there. But at number 2, which is where I have this guy, there is also some additional march speed, 20% in there as well. So there's another area that you can also try and increase. And another place we can have a look at is in our talents. So clicking onto this one up here, then going across, clicking on this, and then this one down here, which is this one. If we click onto that, you can also see when moving across, we've got another march speed in there with 50% that can also be used. And there is also one with march speed to monsters as well. So obviously making sure that you are up leveling that and also have that activated is another way to boost your march speed. So that is via the Courage Horn or the Justice Horn for that. Spiritual beasts, let's go and have a look at them next. And with the spiritual beast attached to your general, we have the Thunder Scorpion, which I don't have, but again is one of the beasts that come with additional march speed. So obviously you'd need to be being able to get to that. We have the Bird of Hurricane, which I do have. And with the Bird of Hurricane, you can see that there is double drop items from monsters as well. So worth having that attached if you are doing that. From a dragon perspective, and one of the things that we can do with the dragon talent is have a look at Fafnir. And if we click onto him, or the dragon, and then go and have a look at the Dragon Guard, which is this one here, we can also see that this comes with additional march speed as well. I'm just making sure that I'm going through everything here, so just bear with me. Now we're going to go across and have a look at the civilization equipment. And if we have a look at the civilization treasure, you can see that the Tutankhamun's dagger comes with an additional 75% march speed to monsters in there as well. So that is quite a bit that I've mentioned. Now, in reference to anything I may have missed, this is where I now pass it over to you guys. And before I do that, I will just jump into Reddit and see exactly what they've got. But this is where it's your opportunity now to get involved and say, you've missed this, you didn't say that correctly. Anything that can help in the boosting of march speed to monsters, then please do get involved in this. And like I say, this is where I now throw it back over to you guys and say, talk, explain, comment, and get this right, so that we've all got the best information that we possibly can with this particular video. Of course, this video will be broken down into a blog post as well, so do check that out on my empirebuildacademy.com website, which I mentioned earlier. That has all the Horus answers on there as well. And that is pretty much where I'm going to leave it for this particular march speed guide. If this is the kind of content that you do enjoy, then please do consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching.